Kia ora team, welcome back to another interview session for the Lighthouse Project Sweetener Tour 2022. Man, what a treat to come out here on the P Waka Waka farm for the home for the learning environment, and we're here with Sam from Tough Talk, and he's actually just been showing us around the farm and sort of showing us the capabilities of this type of environment for mental health. So thank you so much for having us today, Sam. We really do appreciate you, first of all, setting aside the time, and then also for being willing to have us onto your whenua and to take us for a bit of a hikoi around and show us the bits and bobs. What is this, like I know because you've just talked to me about it, but for those who sitting at home and having a look at this, what's this space for?
So this space is all about environmental and mental well-being. So getting out people, youth, adults, not so much focused on the younger people, but yeah, from your upper high school to adults, teaching them about horticulture, teaching them about native trees and forests. As you can see, this big forest behind us is a perfect learning landscape.
Yeah, 100%.
Teaching them about themselves, their mental health, and also how they are when they're in a group. So helping people, as they do all those things I've been talking about, reflect on, hey, how did I show up? How did I behave? You know, why was I a leader there or wasn't I? Or why was I disrupting the team there? So really helping people collaborate better and do that inner work too. Go deep and go, what is my identity in life? Who am I? Where have I come from? And how do I get the right practices and lifestyle to be mentally healthy? While also, you know, as you do that and as you begin to thrive as an individual, we believe you start to actually contribute to a thriving ecosystem, as we're trying to do here as a demonstration. So that's kind of what this place is about.
Yeah, cool. Tough questions that you're getting them to reflect on, right? Around that, who am I and what's my purpose and things. Before we get into that though, each community is different in regards to what's happening within it. Like you say, it's almost like these gardens here where it's a sort of microsphere for all these different organisms, you know, right? So if a community has its own issues and problems, it's just separate from that community. Here in the Whanganui area, what are some of the potential issues, or what is the men's mental health particularly space like in Whanganui?
Yeah, well, there definitely are struggles. I know there's a fair bit of domestic violence that happens here. I've been to one men's circle at the Marae, Te Aotearoa Marae, and a lot of those guys, that's what they talked about, and a lot of them, by showing up to a circle and talking, has stopped doing that, had basically started to find more healthy ways to deal with their emotions that were rising up within them. But before that, kind of didn't know how, and maybe even just had that sort of behaviour normalised in their experiences. So there is a lot of problems. You know, there's a fairly big youth, different youth that are struggling, that have, I guess, you know, they've inherited a life that's come from, you know, the problems we've all created actually, you know, through colonisation of Māori. There's also a lot of Pākehā Tauiwi people struggling as well due to, you know, poverty that they've inherited through the situation they're born into. And yeah, they're just a little bit displaced, maybe don't feel like they have a strong purpose in life, not sure what to do, maybe just playing games at home, smoking weed, that kind of stuff, smoking cigarettes, driving cars. And so what we hope to do here is give them a place to discover something new, actually discover something maybe old as well, how they maybe used to be when communities were stronger and when people were more tied to the land, and go, come here, you know, like, let's put some trees in a pot, and they're going, that tree's you're going to plant that here, and that's going to be here 100 years, 1,000 years. That's amazing. And straight away they're quite inspired by that idea. It's pretty achievable, you get an instant result. So, you know, if you've had this sort of life where it's, you know, maybe a little hard to maintain your attention on things, coming here and getting that kind of instant reward is really great, and feels good, because you know it's benefiting you, it's benefiting the planet, and they can quickly see that. So and then you go, okay, well, maybe that could also be a job, and if it's not a job, let's just talk about who you are and what you want to do, why we do this, and connect over it. So that's, it's certainly some of the problems we're seeing here, and we've been here as a group close to 2 years now. So we're actually just one of our philosophies was not to come in and go, oh, this is what we want to do. Obviously we've got some ideas. We want to have something to do with like plants and forests and mental health, but we're reaching out to the community and going, hey, what do you need, what do you want, and we're starting to learn more and more what it is the community does want, and we're not too far off. It's just about how do we structure that in a way. Some people like come out for the day, some people want to come out for a weekend.
Yeah.
So a few of the schools are wanting to come out just for a day, some 2 days, some want to do it as part of another course they're doing. So we're starting to find out what are these niches that we can kind of come into and provide, and essentially kind of like make the most of this space that we're stewarding for the benefit of the community. So I'm not sure. I'm sure there's other things going on here. Is there anything else you wanted me to answer in terms of that?
No. So, like, we've just driven in literally 15 minutes ago. So this is a completely new space for me, and like we have toured the country, but the same issues that are facing farmers down in rural Southland are different to the ones that are the isolated men on the west coast of the South Island are dealing with. Right? So, I don't understand the issues quite so much, and so it's just interesting to hear everyone's story from their particular community. So some of the things you just touched on around that. People that are perhaps a little bit lost, don't see a purpose or an understand a purpose, and maybe have not had traditional means of success, they do have the opportunity to come here and see that not instant gratification, but there is a sense of accomplishment if they're involved in a team project or even just the planting of a tree. And so what are the particular tools that you may incorporate in some of those processes? So let's say that I'm a 17-year-old fella and I'm a little bit lost. Maybe I've been referred by my parents or whatever. What are some of the things that you could incorporate that might help someone like that?
Yeah, well, like what we find with young people is they often want to really engage with each other. I think when you're young, that's what you're doing, right? You're actually fundamentally kind of learning about how to be social and then what your identity is. So I think the way we like to engage people is to have fun, to be like, here's a mission to go do something. Let's go. You got to get here, and you got to here's your goal, and you got to go off in groups, and we're going to go do that.